Well, we're going to come into the end of the second quarter for the end of June, and my view is that, as you said earlier on, the markets are pretty flat at the moment. There's just too much uncertainty around at the moment. We've seen a 3% rally from the recent lows. Previously on March the 24th, I highlighted that watch out for April the 28th, that there's another key cycle coming up, and I'd be looking for a minimum of 800 to 1200 points drop. We actually saw 499 point drop from the 28th, but if you take the pivot day on the 27th, we actually had a 753 point drop. These cycles just keep reoccurring, and the short-term cycles tell us that currently we're in a bullish mode, and that will last, I think, for another few more weeks, because we've only got a few more 100 points until we reach another technical wall again. And so my view is that, as Michael pointed out, June is a month to watch out for. I think we're going to turn again, and we're going to head down into August. Bearing in mind last year we lost 16%. We haven't seen that occur this year. I don't think it'll be as drastic as that, but I do see some walls being hit. You look at regular signals. Are there some irregularities now cropping up in the month of June? We've got Brexit, and that's not a typical factor that crops up on the calendar year to year. Also the Fed. We're at record low levels on interest rates. If we do get a follow-up rate hike, that's almost an anomaly these days, isn't it? Yeah, there's two ways of looking at it. You can look at these economical news stories as a trigger. There's always the fact that sometimes the news is always priced in. From a technical perspective, it's ironic that sometimes you're looking at these things occurring at very key levels. So who's playing these games? Are they timing them at the right point in time? My view is that Jeff and I, we've talked about this previously. There's this major cycle, this 84-year cycle. We're not out of this until 2018. Michael's suggesting that we're probably going to be in this hockey stick. We're probably going to come out of it. There's some bullishness. I think there's some surprises coming on the banking side still. There's still debt levels which haven't been talked about. Student debt levels are extreme highs. Consumer debt levels haven't really been talked about. Everybody's putting it on credit cards. Once those news stories come out, I think the economy is going to be taking another look at this and thinking, actually, we're not out of this curve just yet. So I think until we get out of this period, this long-term cycle, there's some hiccups along the way. So I think that the economical factors and news stories will just be triggers, triggering the major trends towards the downside. So I'm still bearish on the very long term, but on the short to intermediate term, I've got some bullish signals saying that just ride it while you can, and then when the trend reverses, just get out of the way.
So this June does countermand the last 10.
Yeah, the seasonals work until they stop, as we always say. But you can't ignore the fact that these cycles just keep reoccurring. I think June will be a setup, but August is my worry. The next cycle we had 28th of April, so viewers should watch out for the 30th of August. That's when we hit the next cycle period, and I think we could take a very sharp downturn in that month. So June is pretty much, let's figure out where we're going, watch for breaks of weekly lows. That'll be your technical indications that these markets are about to turn towards the downside.
Can we just focus specifically on which markets? Is this the FTSE 100, or is this the Dow,
global,
or is this the S&P?
Right across the board.
DAX?